right, what's wild in New Hampshire? This is Saturday, February 15th. Came down to Barnes & Noble in Seabrook to sign a few books and take a little ride along the coast. I'm going to check out the bridge up here. They're building a new bridge here between Seabrook and Hampton. Go take a look at that. Drive along New Hampshire's coast a little bit today. Yeah, Saturday the 15th of February 2025. Checking out New Hampshire's coastline today. Maybe I'll run this one a little bit longer than usual, just because not much else going on right now. Seabrook plant over there. I tried to catch a turkey over there one day. A turkey that kept sitting off the alarms. They called me in. I went down there with a mist net thinking I could catch that turkey. He saw me. he went in hiding. Yeah, that turkey apparently could recognize the fishing game truck when it arrived because he soon disappeared. Okay. Keep my now maybe move it over a little bit. How's that? Yeah. Hello, Seabrook, New Hampshire. Saturday, February 15th, 2025. Got some snow down here on the coast. Coming up to the bridge work, they're putting a new bridge across up here. It's scheduled for completion, I'd guess, in a while. I guess it's going to be higher, so more boats would be able to go under it, so that they don't have to keep lifting the bridge all the time, especially in the summertime traffic. This place is mobbed in the summertime. Can't have this bridge going up every little while. All right, coming up, there's work on the new bridge off to the left there.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto State Park Road.
Yep. I'm gonna turn the phone over that way. Can you see anything over there? I guess not. Just a bunch of equipment and stuff. And we're in Hampton Beach State Park to the right. Yeah, I come down each September hoping to count some monarch butterflies. Those dunes over there I can see to the right 20 years ago were covered with monarch butterflies. This last year I came down 4 times through September, late August into September, hoping to count some migrating monarch butterflies. I didn't see one. I am very concerned about our monarch butterflies. Not good. And over the years, for 30 years or more, I came down here with my friend to check his lobster traps once or twice a week sometimes. In the fall, we'd be out here along the coast or striper fishing. Late summer, you'd see this butterflies going by, pretty steady. None in 2024. Not one monarch butterfly that I see on New Hampshire's coast. Very worrisome. All right, coming by the Hampton Beach. Well, I'll go up here ways and I'll start checking out the ducks. Every week or two at least, I gotta travel along New Hampshire's coast and check out the ducks and the loons. Well, there's a lot to see down here in the wintertime. Yeah, there's not so many people to look at, but you know what? This is where the loons and the ducks are in the wintertime. If you want to see some different ducks, probably see some golden eyes, some eiders, and maybe a long-tailed duck, formerly known as an old squaw duck, scoters, and usually a sprinkling of loons all along the coast. Haven't seen the water here. I don't see a loon out there yet, but I bet I'll spot one pretty quick. We'll have some loons out here pretty quick. And probably some ducks. Yeah, quiet here at Hampton Beach today. Even though it's a Saturday, a few people are walking around. In the Barnes & Noble bookstore in Seabrook to sign some books there. Don't forget to get your What's Wild book. If you haven't got it yet, you can get it right at Barnes & Noble or up in Concord at Gibson's or Down in Keene at Toadstool, and I'm guessing Peterborough, the Toadstool store there should have some too. Oh, and check with your local bookstore. If they don't have the book in, ask them to stock it. Yeah, get me some What's Wild in my local bookstore. Ask them. I'd appreciate that if you would. I don't see anybody sitting on the beach today. Let's take a look at the beach up here. Do you see anybody there? No, there's nobody at the beach. Not a one. In fact, they got it closed off. Wow, it's the barways have got cable across. They don't want anybody out there. Well, that one's open. Snowy been open. There's a person out there with his dog. But not much happening here in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. We'll putt along a little further. Here's the coast. Saturday, February 15th, 2025. Oh, let's see out there. There's a large bird out there. There's a duck there. Can't tell you what it is yet. Looks like a scoter. A little black looking duck. Looks like a scoter. Be my guess. There's more up here. What do you got here? These are a little bigger. Get out there. Can't really pull over here to get the binoculars out. There's a little bit bigger birds over there. That might be some eiders right there, just over that wall. It's always interesting to come down here and see what's happening in the winter. First of all, there's still traffic. You can come down here and enjoy your ride along the coast here in the wintertime. You need to be in a bumper-to-bumper traffic. Now come down in the winter and enjoy your coastline. Lots to see in the winter down here. And up here in Rye, I've watched several rocket launches. Yeah, you can, when they launch a rocket, Cape Kennedy, Florida, you can look south and you can see that rocket take off. Yes, you can. I have watched several. In fact, I watched the Starlink satellite go into orbit right over my head. So I watched it from when it launched until I went into orbit, right over my head. Up here in Rye, New Hampshire, Odeon State Park, Odeon Beach. Been a lot of damage here. A year ago, January 19th, 2024, they had the storm that wasn't like a nor'easter. It just came in and slammed the coast. They're still fixing it up in places. Millions and millions and millions of dollars of damage to our coastline that they're still working on. Where'd that money come from? Warming climate, more intense storms, millions of dollars in damage, and somebody's got to pay for it. It's coming out of your and my pocket. We know it is. The more climate change beats up our coast, the more we have to pay. To protect these million-dollar mansions along here. I'm glad I'm helping them protect their valuable properties. A few walkers. Can't see much for water here. You got the storm wall. Oh, here is New Hampshire's coastline this Saturday, February 15th, 2025. A few gulls. What else here? You might spot. So today you get a tour of the coast. Here's 18-mile coastline. We're going to see most of it. I'm going to keep it rolling. What the heck? If you don't want to watch, you can go watch something else. I feel like a ride today. I had to get down. I've been trying to get down to Seabrook to get in there and sign some books, but I've just been too busy. And today I had some time off. Take a ride and down to the coast. I got to come down here at least once a week, maybe more. And here's the equipment up here parked where they were working on the damage. Still, the equipment's still here. They're not done. They're not done fixing New Hampshire's coastline. putting bigger and bigger boulders. I've been down here in the coast a long time. They have doubled the size of the rocks that they're now putting along the shore to protect it. They are putting in much bigger rocks because the storms are more intense with climate change. They are. Yeah, a lot of these places were hit hard last year. Along here. Bigger rocks for bigger storms. And it's going to cost more money to do that. I bet. Well, let's see. What have I done down here? Well, I've banded ducks not too far from here. Down there at Hampton Beach State Park, I tried to chase down an eagle that attacked a young child one day. Look that up. Look at the Hampton Beach bald eagle attack. Yeah, somebody trained that eagle to catch things. So if you threw a foosball, it would chase it. And of course, the father threw the foosball to his 6 or 8 year old daughter, or whatever she was, and the eagle went after it. Oh, and did they get a picture of that? And there's a dead cottontail rabbit in the road right there. Probably a New England, eastern cottontail. The New Englands are being overtaken by a different species, the eastern cottontail. And the New England cottontail is fading into history, even though it's federally listed as endangered, and there have been some ongoing for at least 2 decades of trying to hold on to some of the populations in New Hampshire and elsewhere. It's been a running battle to get a whole new species moving in, taking over. And it's a more urban species that likes these lawns and small plots of woods as opposed to the historical New England cottontail that like more farmland and bigger patches of wood. And we just roll over the border into Northampton. Northampton, yeah, right here. Coming up to Northampton State Park, beach, Northampton State Beach. I spent a lot of time here. Yeah, my wife Janice is from Northampton. We spent a lot of time here in our college years. Isles of Shoals, yeah, I don't have some stories out there. Yeah, in 1995 or 96, it's in my book. That story about restoring terns to the Isles of Shoals. Yeah, I took the Audubon staff out there, funded by Fish and Game, by the way, the non-game program, funded by Fish and Game, but had Audubon staff hired to live out there on the Isles of Shoals and chase away the gulls all summer long so that the terns could re-nest there. Well, I took the crew out there to set up the boom boxes and the decoys, which they had to move around and blast the blaring sounds of terns. Well, that first year, what, a dozen nests or so occurred up there? That was an eider. And let's see, I bet I'll see a loon right here. There's another eider, and oh, yeah, we got some ducks here. Haven't seen. I expect to see a loon right here. Oh, I bet I'll see one. Usually, there's a sprinkling. You know, loons are not thick. You know, you get one here and one there. You're not going to have 10 loons. I don't remember seeing that number. And there's the Yellow Shoals. Out the Yellow Shoals. So what? In the 90s, mid 90s, I took the first crew out there. I borrowed the Marine Division boat because I was working in the. There's a whole group of eiders there. I can see them well. Yeah, there's a flock of eiders right there. And what else we got? Oh, there's some golden-eyed ducks that look like. Sure look like to me. Well, there's a couple of robins just flew right over me. Yeah, we get year-round robins in New Hampshire now, so there's a lot to see here. Route 1A here in Northampton. We're coming into to Rye here pretty quick. Well, we got some. Looks like the tide is in here at. What time is it? Noon on Saturday, the 15th of February 2025. Tide is in. Got some ducks. Haven't spotted a loon here yet. Coming into Rye here now. So out the Isles of Shoals. So that first year, maybe 10 or a dozen nesting terns set up shop. And each year it increased in numbers. And it's been maxed out. It seems like the carrying capacity of the Isles of Shoals is about 3,000 pairs of nesting common terns. They were not very common. I used to, in the early 90s, I took Audubon staff, Diane DeLuca. She'd say, "Hey, Eric, can we take a tour of Great Bay? We're going to count the terns, the common terns." I would borrow the Marine Division boat, spent an afternoon counting terns in Great Bay, New Hampshire. We had 10 or maybe a dozen nests at most. I think it was fewer than that. I think 7 or 8 was a common number for a few years until we started to restore them out there. I pitched in. I took them out there several times. Took the staff out there and brought them in. Yeah, and now there's 3,000 pairs of common terns, plus some Arctic and roseate terns, federally threatened species. Some really unique terns nest at the Alda Show. They've been gone for over 50 years. Our open dumps kind of boosted. Oh, we got there. Oh, there's the loon. All right, saw one. All right, so I won't see definitely one loon here along the coast, but you know, so I have not stopped to get at my binoculars out, and I didn't bring my spotting scope today. Well, it must not be high tide because I can see more rock showing out there than usual, so I guess we're not high tide. It's in against here, so it's in, but not all the way, because you got rocks showing there that don't always show. Well, it's going to be usually there's a loon right here in this corner, around the corner. Come up to what, rye beach club or something up here. Oh, there's a loon right there, close by. There's usually one along here. This is a place to spot a loon, for sure. I'm not stopping to get up my binoculars. We're doing a tour of New Hampshire's coast. Almost all of the 18 miles. Well, we get up to Rye and Odeon Point, and we'll swing inland a little bit. But so far, a couple definite loons. Got some Scoter and Eiders, and I think some golden eyes that look like. Plenty of snow down here. You know, typically in the wintertime, way milder here, but boy, we've had some coastal storms. It's piled some snow up here along New Hampshire's coast. This doesn't happen most winters in the last couple of decades. When I was in the office in Durham for Fishing Game, the Region 3 office in Durham, I could take a February drive down the coast last decade of my career, and we wouldn't have too much snow here. A little different winter. This is back the way winters used to be in the 70s and 80s, kind of. This is the normal winter that I grew up knowing. Even when I went to UNH, I took ornithology. I was quick to come down here to spend some time learning the winter ducks on the coast. Even in the late 60s, it was, be 69, 70. I was spending time along the coast here, counting the ducks and looking at the ducks and banding ducks here. We're doing Fishing Game. One day I fired the rocket net, and we caught under that rocket net 650 ducks. Yes, we did, including 200 black ducks. A record number of ducks to be caught at one time under a rocket net. And the rocket net, that is a lot of fun. Yeah, there are 3 big rockets that jerk that net over the heads of the ducks when they're headed to town. You got to know when to fire it. Yeah, there's a lot going on down here. Some days caught a lot of ducks. I banded thousands and thousands of ducks and geese in my 31-year career. Some of it down here. Worked on capturing turkeys down here and fitting them with radio transmitters. Yeah, did some of that. 2 moose, 2 or 3 or 4 moose I handled down here, getting out of trouble. Yeah, captured moose in Portsmouth and where else? I don't know. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time down here on the coast over my lifetime, and enjoy every minute of it. Coming up to Rye Harbor coming up. Used to be swans nesting out here. We had a whole problem with swans. Mute swans are an invasive species that people love because they're a big white swan, but you know what? They drive away all the other ducks and things. They kill them. we watched. Yeah, they're very defensive. And they're not native. They're an invasive species. And, Fishing Game worked on reducing their numbers by preventing the hatching of the eggs. We'd go out there and go to the nest and take basically a knitting needle and poke a hole in the egg and scramble it and leave it so she would sit on it for a month or more, and they wouldn't hatch. So that was the way we did a little birth control of the loons. We didn't kill the adults. We simply kept them from being successful at producing lots more swans, mutant swans, an invasive species. Pretty invasive species, but nevertheless, they displaced native wildlife. Rye Harbor to the right here. Boy, they've had to do a lot of work there. That was probably six or more feet of water in that parking lot. So this was basically all underwater in that January storm, 2024. This was all underwater. Yeah, there's some ducks out there. I'm not stopping to look at the ducks in the loons today. Just driving along and taking a look at the coast. We're not far from the Odeon. Once we get to Odeon, that's it for New Hampshire's coast today. But you're getting the full Monty of New Hampshire's short coast on the Atlantic Ocean here, Gulf of Maine. What if they'll rename that? Yeah, we go. We'll call it the Gulf of Canada instead. Yeah, this whole berm on the right was pretty much decimated by that storm last January. They spent months, 8 months, patching up the Hampshire coast. It hasn't been, and it's not done. There's a house that has been burned since the last time I was here. There's a story coming up, not too far away. Pulpit Rock. See, Pulpit Rock. Pulpit Rock is a observation post used in World War II, and somehow Fish and Game was given possession and ownership, I guess, of Pulpit Rock. Anybody that has been to the beaches down here, you know darn well your cell phone doesn't work. I had the solution for that. Up here at Pulpit Rock, I had met a fellow that put cell antennas in church steeples and things like that, was good at hiding them. And when I mentioned down here that Fish and Game had this building, this spire on it, Rye, and there was very poor cell phone coverage, he said, well, gee, we could put some cell towers down there. And matter of fact, I could probably get you 2 or 3 companies that would be willing to have me install the antennas in that place, and they would probably pay you each, I think it was like $5,000 or $10,000 a month to rent it. So Fish and Game could have got $30,000-$40,000 a month to rent it out to cell tower companies, and the director would have no part of it because the neighbors didn't like the idea. So you still have no cell phone coverage in Rye and Northampton. Yeah, thanks to the people that quashed having a cell tower antennas put in Pulpit Rock up here. Yeah, you could have had cell phone coverage, but no. There goes looks like a couple of mallards over there. What are they doing down here? Well, it's big. The ducks and in pairs. I just saw the pair of ducks. Yeah, ducks are already pairing up. They're not mating yet, but they often pair up in the wintertime. Late winter, spring, pairing up. All right, here we are. Plenty of snow here. Look at the bankings. Some snow here. Beach up here. Great beach here. Wall of Sands. Right, New Hampshire. Not too busy. Not a parking lot full today. No, there's not. Nice trip along New Hampshire's coast today. Not too crowded. A few people here and there. Not many cars parked on the side or anything. Somebody's gonna feed something there. They're putting out food for something. Right there. All right, here we go. Another stretch of water. Let's see what we got here for ducks. Pretty dark. I'd say there's looks like scoters to me there. And there's Pulpit Rock right straight ahead. Pulpit Rock lookout, yeah. Neighbors weren't going to have any part of any cell tower equipment in there. So, hey, you don't have any cell tower. You don't have any phone service here. Thank you. There we go. Could have had cell phone coverage and fishing game. Could have made $30,000 or $40,000 a month. Rent? Nope. Didn't want that. Pulpit Rock. Yeah. Another story, just another story. And it was full of pigeons and pigeon poop, and I had to get somebody in there to provide an estimate to get it cleaned out. So fishing game, at the time, I think somebody else wanted it or something, and they had to be cleaned out. So I was tasked with coming down to see if we could find somebody to clean up there was like 6 inches of pigeon poop, and there was like 4 different levels in that place. Yeah, there was a lot of pigeon poop. And here we are, Odeon Point, Odeon State Park coming up. We're going to wrap up the coastal tour. Well, we'll stop where I'll show you my secret spot up here. Secret spot. Well, it's been wrecked by the storm a little bit. Take a look. Odeon Point. All right, I'm just going to pull off the side here. Alright, here we are, Odeon Point. This is where I come to watch the rockets, right here. I can stand on that berm right up there, look due south when there's a night launch from Cape Kennedy, Florida. I can see the rocket coming right up. Yeah, awesome. This is the secret spot. So you park right there, stand right there, look due south with your binoculars. It's going to be a little dot like a star, but it's orange, so you can see that it's flames from a rocket. And I have watched a rocket come right up and go into orbit right over my head right here, one of the Starlink rockets. So yeah, good spot. Lots happening down here. So this is the end of the tour of New Hampshire's coast this Saturday, February 15th, 2025. That's what's wild today. Get outside, be wild, live life on the wild side of New Hampshire. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for what's wild in New Hampshire. Odeon State Park right there. That's wild today.